So, to learn more about coming up with life quotes or themes, we're going to be filling in our graphic organizer. So, if you see, I have 12 Angry Men, If Today Was Your Last Day, and the picture book Rose Blanche. So, the first thing you want to do is you want to come up with those big picture ideas. These are your abstract nouns. So, for your abstract nouns, I came up with for 12 Angry Men compassion, power, prejudice, truth, and duty. So what I'm doing is I want to be able to find what are those abstract nouns and how can I connect it to the play. Then it says find 3 examples from the song or the text to support one of these words. And I decided that the best word that really matches this is the idea of power. So for my first example, the judge is saying, I urge you to deliberate honestly and thoughtfully. You are faced with a grave responsibility. I also found another example that has to deal with power when the foreman says, all right, now gentlemen, you can handle this any way you want. I'm not going to make any rules. Then I also found stage directions that also connect with the idea of power. So 3 sits at the table toying with the knife and 4 gets up and starts for the window. All have their backs to 10. If you remember from the play, that's when they were doing their silent protest. So once you have your 3 examples from the text, now you need to explain the connection. So this is always what is harder. So you want to make sure that you're really trying to prove why does that text evidence connect back to power. So I said first, the jurors decide his fate of life or death. So when the judge is actually giving those instructions, he's really telling them that you have a very serious responsibility. You have the power to decide. My second example, if you look here, it says the foreman is not sure how to use his power in an effective way. So I'm looking at, he's not used to being a leader. So he's coming across to everybody else that he's very powerless. And then my next one says the jurors use their power to show juror 10 that they refuse to listen to his racist opinions. So when I'm looking at that one, that really connects back to those stage directions. And I just want to make sure that when I'm explaining that I'm giving as much information as possible. So then, if you go down a little bit further, once I have my text evidence, once I have my explanation, now I want to find a quote. So it says quote from sheet found online or one of your own. So this could be a popular saying, it could be a quote from a movie, it could be something you just find online. But I decided to go with you must be the change you wish to see in the world. And I thought that was important because it connects to the abstract noun of power because it really helps us understand that you have the power to do the right thing. Then it says defend or explain how the theme statement is supported. So what I'm doing here is I just have to kind of explain why do all of these pieces connect together. And this is what's called synthesizing. Synthesizing says you take parts and you pull it together. The jurors had the power to make positive or negative changes, and they were able to use their power to influence each other to take time to make their choices. So what you're going to do is with a partner, you can work together. I want you to try and work on if today was your last day. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to come up with 3 abstract nouns that connect to that song. So for example, I came up with the word regret. Then I came up with the word acceptance. So what you can do is I've given you a list of other abstract nouns that you can use. So you come up with 3 of your own. And then you're going to write that on your graphic organizer. For the purpose of today's activity, I'm going to model for you the word the abstract noun regret. So I'm already picking the big idea for you, but I want you to come up with 3 of your own. Then it says you need to find 3 supporting examples from the song or the text. So what I did was I found 3 examples, and I want you to circle the text evidence that is the best, the one you think that really, really, really connects to regret. So my first one says, so live like you never lived twice. Don't take the free ride in your own life. My second example from the song was, you know it's never too late to shoot for the stars. My third example says, every second counts because there's no second try. So once again, here are my 3 text examples, but I want you to figure out what is the best one that connects to regret. Once you have the best answer and you've circled it, now you're going to come down to the third box that says explain the text evidence. How does this text evidence connect to the word regret? So what you and your partner are going to do is you're going to take a pause and you're going to add your explanation there. Remember, a good explanation is going to prove why that text evidence supports your abstract noun. And a good explanation is going to have maybe about 2 sentences. So once you're done, you're going to move on to the life quote. And once again, you can find a quote from one of the resources I've given you or even search online. But the one that I came up with was, in the end, it's not the years in your life that counts, it's the life in your years. I thought that really connected to the play. So I want you to think about my next step is I have to defend or explain how that theme statement is supported, how that life quote is supported. So I want you to pick which of these responses do you think is the best. Is it number 1? If you don't regret your decisions, then you know that every minute of your life is the best decision you can make. Or is it 2? People can worry about their mistakes, can't really be happy. So if you're worrying all the time, you're not truly happy. So with your partner, go ahead and decide which explanation do you think is best and why. Okay, so now what you're able to do now is you're going to be working by yourself to go back and reread Rose Blanche. So for Rose Blanche, what I want you to do is I want you to go back and I want you to find 3 examples of abstract nouns. Once you find those 3 examples, you're going to go back and choose the best word. And you're going to put a star beside whichever word you think is the best. Then you're going to move on to where it says 3 supporting examples from the song or the text. So this is a picture book, and you can find the picture book online. But I want you to pick 3 examples from the text. And remember, your text evidence is going to be in quotation marks. Once you're done with the explanation or the supporting examples, you're going to move on to the explanation. You're going to explain how those 3 examples of the text connect to your starred abstract noun. Once you're done with that, you're going to find a life quote, whether it's one of the resources I've given you, maybe you want to find your own, but write your quote down there. And then your last step is you want to defend or explain how the theme statement is supported. And that's what you're going to do for that part of your worksheet. Good luck.